Well, we used to go out with a group of friends, and I saw something strange. There was one couple that would take turns back and forth and argue slightly about who turn it was to pay for their family. And we looked at it as one pot. So if I got 100K and she got $1, we got 100,001. It's not separated like that. I think when you become a wife, the two things become one. So that would be the difference for me. They merge. So that's why the money thing wouldn't equate to a difference because we're merged in all other facets. We're merged into one with me being at the head of this household.
That was my situation. We were
Mm.
Okay.
one. We were one. We were not a separate circumstance. You know what I'm saying? It was never me and then there's him. Whatever there was, it was us together. You know, there was never a battle of, oh, who gonna take care of this, who gonna take care of that. Whatever there was, we taking care of that. Period. At the end of the day. So I completely agree with that.
Damn. Okay. Andrea?
Okay, so this whole, what is it, Jonathan Bio? What is it, Jonathan? What is his name?
Who?
And what the Simone Biles, right? And her,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
what was his name again?
Jonathan.
Jonathan Owens. Stop it.
John.
Yeah.
Trying to be funny.
Oh,
Jonathan Owens. And her last name is Owens also. So she's Simone Owens.
Yeah. Go ahead.
okay. So I feel like, so what I'm thinking, well, what I, from people that I have actually talked about this thing with, is the issue is not him saying that he is the prize. The issue is that it almost seems like she feels like she has to dim her light or dumb herself down in order to make him feel like a man. Or like, I don't think that is anything like this whole make somebody feel lesser than a man or more than a, like, I feel like if you can't just be yourself within a relationship and allow your light to shine without dimming yourself down for somebody else, like, I don't know, like, I think that's just kind of weird. I don't think it has anything to do with finances. I don't think it has anything to do with money, because I remember also there was I guess they had an interview where they asked her who was better as a like a sportsman or something like that, and she said, well, we don't talk about that kind of stuff because we go back and forth about it a lot, so we just don't talk about it. And I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, I just feel like she
Can I
had
ask
the,
you a question?
you know, there is difference in what they're doing, but at the same time, it's like it's like she's dumbing herself down or like making herself less of who she is because she doesn't want to bruise his ego. And I think that that's like, I don't think that has anything to do with finances.
Can I explain something? Because you said somebody was gonna go after her.
Well, yeah, mistake. If mistaken relinquish the floor to you, then you can. But I know she was waiting, so I just don't. I want to be fair.
That's cool.
Mistaken.
I was just gonna say that I definitely think that you can be a wife. I know people are not gonna agree with me, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna stand firm in what I said. A wife and a partner. And the reason I say that is because as a man, even though he is the head of the home, he doesn't have all the answers. So two heads are always better than one. You're gonna have some strengths just like he's going to have some strengths. The idea is that you guys are coming together as a puzzle pieces. So in the areas he lack, if I'm strong in, then I'm gonna have to step up in that area. And then vice versa. If there's areas that he's stronger in where I'm weak, it's his role to step in that area. So sometimes I think what happens when we get triggered by hearing the word partner or partnership because it's this mindset that one always have to be over the other. I think that's why we are in this whole, what is it, the gender war idea, is respectfully understanding and appreciating each other's differences. So without me, my husband would not be where he is and who he is. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am or who I am without the influence that he's had on me. So even though you're like at the head, you guys still have to work together in tandem. And so when we just get caught up in that he's the head, he's the man, she gonna do whatever I say, because it real life does not work like that in a marriage. It just doesn't. I've been married 20 years, and there's been times where I had to step up in certain areas because it just was not his strength. And other areas I had to fall back because he was handling that shit and I there was no room or need for me to be in that space.
All right,
So my
good. I'm glad I'm glad you came in right after Andrea, so I could roast both y'all asses respectfully, because you're married respectfully. So nothing wrong with that. I
Why
love
he talking to
married
you?
people. I love married people, so respectfully. Both of y'all
Lord
are
Jesus.
really articulating a load of bullshit. Do y'all see my shirt? Okay. It's God, husband, wife, child. Do you see God and husband are on the same line? Wife and child are on a totally different line. Okay. God and husband, that's a hierarchy. And the problem is, overall, women don't understand hierarchy, even though you live in a patriarchy. So there is no equality even in a marriage. Just like you being married, I congratulate you. I was married, and y'all can say I was married versus you are married. Cool. But all together, I am the head of the household. Everything goes through me. And that is the hierarchy. And God is, just like we talked about purpose earlier, his purpose, God, that is the system that we are, or the direction that we're going. So you follow the man's system or you follow the man's direction. So you can't be equal or partners if you are literally following the man. That means he's the leader. Now, do you know a lot of things about, say, accounting or whatever, and you take care of that? Cool. But that's what a leader does. He delegates. Any millionaire or billionaire does not do everything on their own. They go out and find people that, here's the thing, that are smarter than him, and he delegates that duty to that other person, just like a husband.
Okay,
So, Mr.
mistaken. Oh, sorry. Go
And
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
spared you, Audrea. I spared you. I ain't even saying
Well,
about
well, no, I think it's fair that if she reiterates her points, you can respond because you did want to respond earlier. I just want to give mistaken an opportunity to rebut, if necessary.
well, what I was gonna say is that I know, a lot of times we get caught up, or not caught up, we want to play the traditional role when it's convenient, you know what I'm saying, or the traditional mindset. And I think, sometimes trying to be traditional, um, you in a modern society is kind of like going back to a flip phone, but you have all of this extra technology and you're trying to use a flip phone in technology that sometimes stuff just isn't compatible because of the environment. And I think the mindset of what, like, him saying the head of the home, I agree. I totally agree with that because that's how I was raised. But I also saw how that was abused, in terms of a woman submitting to a man and then the husband not necessarily appreciating that and taking advantage of that. So I think that's why there's a shift. For me, well, no, I'm not going to say for me. In general, I just think you need to do what is going to work best for your household. Everybody manages their household differently. And respectfully, I don't know why you got divorced, but right now it appears that what we've been doing in our household worked and what you did in yours did. So that's the only thing I could go on. So I just did what worked in our household and it seems to be working. And so we're just going to keep moving in that direction.
and
Wow.
and congratulate you. I'm gonna congratulate you for that. See, one thing I'm not gonna do is knock a married person, because that's where we all are. Well, most of us are looking to go. You feel me? So I'm not gonna knock anything you did, because guess what? You're right. Mine failed. Yours is still going. That does not mean you are right. Put your husband on here, I'm sure he'll have a totally different mindset or a way of articulating what you just said, and he'll most likely be like, "Oh yeah, I'll run the household." But since you're the wife, you're going to see things in your own perspective, which is cool, and I am always going to accept that because you're a man's wife, right? So I'm never going to be on nowhere arguing with you about your marriage that I could not hold together. You feel me? But do you want me to get in Andrea's ass or wait?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I
It's up to
do.
you.
I do. I just real quick, what Mistaken said, I understand that times have changed. However, our results have gotten worse, right? So when you speak about not being traditional, we were much more married when we were much more traditional. Now we're doing things kind of like what you said, and our results don't show very well. So I'm just assessing what you said, and I'm looking at the numbers, and the numbers feel like they disagree with you.